I have two scripts up here. I'm not sure which one to use. I guess the shortest one, right? I'll turn this one over. Hey, everybody. Chris did a great job of welcoming you to National Tourism Week. And, of course, this is the Travel Rally is actually what we called this event today. And thanks a million for coming out. We really appreciate it. I mean, we've got a lot of our major partners out here, celebrities and so on. We're going to talk a little bit. We have some, we actually do have some people that are very, very important, have been instrumental in tourism getting kicked off here in Polk County 28 years ago. We're actually celebrating our 28th year as Polk County Tourism and, more recently, sports marketing. So we'll get on with all of that. One of the things we do have to address, and a lot of people know this, and we all live here now, and there's a darn good reason for it. It's because of tourism. One of the things that I like best about Florida, I don't have to pay personal income taxes. So if you, yeah, there you go. And if you come from a state like California or Wisconsin, Colorado, Connecticut, parts unknown, whatever, you know, you're paying 7, 8, 9% state income tax. It's not a lot of fun. But here, we don't have to. And nationally, we've got to count our blessings as well. Tourism, believe it or not, and you all know I'm a numbers person, tourism has really led the re-employment of millions of Americans. And ultimately, it's led us out of the Great Recession from the employment standpoint, that is. Not that we're totally out, because we aren't. But tourism is also Florida's top job creator. It's our #1 industry here in the state. It's one of the top 3 in Polk County, and it's something we have a lot to be thankful for. Before we get too deep into that, in our primary award, which is the Dick Pope, I should know that. I worked at Cypress Gardens for many, many years. The annual award, which is a very prestigious award, something that we can look to and for in the coming years and look backwards as a bit of a history lesson and something to be grateful for in all the efforts that Mr. Pope made for us. Unfortunately, our Board of County Commissioners is part of our tourism team. They do an awful lot for us and with us to ensure that tourism is a prosperous, successful industry here in Polk County. But Melanie Bell happens to be our chairperson for the Tourist Development Council, and Jim Freeman, our county manager, was not able to be here tonight either. So they have a board meeting today, and I can only assume, as serious as they are about the board meetings and the topics of the day, that they still got wrapped up in that. But we certainly need to thank our Board of County Commissioners, Melanie Bell, John Hall, Ed Smith, George Lindsay, and of course our chairman, Todd Dantzler. We do have, however, some TDC board members: Desiree Chase, Jackie Johnson, Frank Johnson, not related. And why don't you guys, I'd really like you guys to stand up. Okay. And I know I talked to John Loud a little bit earlier, but I don't, there he is way at the end. John's actually from Lakeland, has been around for a long, long time, and you know, we just really have a great team. In fact, the board itself, every staff member enjoys working with the TDC board because they each bring something really unique. Frank Johnson, who is our vice chair, actually is the only board member that has been around all 28 years. I was only 6 years old when Frank Johnson helped start. But one of the architects, a lot of you don't know this, and there's a lot of young faces, this isn't meant to be a history lesson, is Gene Engel, who's sitting in the center there with sort of the coral-colored shirt, and his lovely wife, Pat, have been a great friend of tourism because Gene, as well as Frank, were some of the, and Jackie, you sat on that original board as well to put together what we now have as tourism, Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing, and it's, wow, what a great team that has been, and our hats go off to you three and many others in the room. Our other team members, of course, the tax collector's office. Whew, we love the tax collector. There's no better tax collector in the state of Florida than Joe Tedder and his team. That is, there's no question about it. You know, best thing about Joe, it isn't like Zacchaeus or I guess Matthew in the New Testament that were tax collectors. Joe's a great guy and his team are great people, and we're thankful for them, and they're honest. Polk Leisure Services, and of course the City of Winter Haven Leisure Services was was being directed by actually Michael Stavros. Michael and Duke out here playing today. I saw Michael here a little earlier. There's Duke, there's Michael, T. Michael, excuse me. And then PGTV. We're fortunate in Polk County to have a team that's as good as any regional broadcast team that you'll see out there. And that's no exaggeration. These guys are that good. They're creative. Camera work is outstanding, and we certainly appreciate them. Last but not least, and you know who you are, so I'm going to make you stand first. You all know what a DOT is? DOT is a diplomat of tourism. They've been around since 1993. It was started by Joni Allen, who's standing right there with the blonde hair pulled back. And when she talks, you can hardly understand her. I need a translator because she has a heavy Southern accent. And she started the program back in 1993 and has still been involved very heavily in sort of the resurrection of and re-implementation of our DOT program. I want all the DOTs to stand. I say this a lot. These, go ahead. And I want to say that, but also a thanks to everybody in the room. The DOTs give something that they never give back. It's a finite resource. You know what that is? Their time. Something you'll never get back. You can always spend more money. You can always make more money. Okay? Sometimes it's tougher than others. But the fact of the matter is you cannot get more time. And so we thank you from the bottom of our heart for all that you do on a daily basis. They get to deal with the good, the bad, and the ugly tourists. We won't be talking about the ugly side of things, but we do deal with that on occasion. And sometimes people have just had a bad day, but when they walk out of here, I will guarantee you that because of the DOTs and our frontline staff, that they do so because of the quality and the professional service that they provide. So let's give a big round of applause to our DOTs. And speaking of applause and thanks, this little mini presentation was originally 9 pages long. We're not doing that tonight, folks, at all. This is just going to be very brief. Thank you, yeah. That's my good buddy Frank Johnson over there for those of you on PGTV that are wondering. But you don't have to look too far back to have reason to celebrate, and we're here to celebrate tonight. And we have a lot to celebrate, a lot to look to and for in the future as well. But if you take a quick look back 4 or 5 years to 2000, a lot of you don't remember this because you were either in college or in some other state of mind that many folks are in their younger years. But the once famous and prosperous Cypress Gardens was on its 3rd owner. And it was dire straits, and I don't mean the song, or the Walk of Life song, because they were walking at the end of the plank. It was a really tough situation. Gone through the 3rd owner, shuttered their doors, and it was a tough time. We were at the bottom of the recession. It was ugly financially. Greenleaf, one of Florida's icons when it came to golf and tennis resorts, I don't know how many of you remember this. Greenleaf had 1,000 rooms, and at one point, Jackie and Frank, I believe it was 18% of total collections, revenue collections in Polk County. A Japanese firm going through the throes of their Great Recession essentially harvested the business. They shut their doors, okay? And we got a call 2 days before the Major League Scramble and had to move the Major League Scramble with the Tigers and the Indians to Eaglebrook that year. And again, a huge, huge asset gone. The Kansas City Royals left for Arizona. The Cleveland Indians left for Arizona. And finally, in 2010, total revenue, the economy tanked, and total revenue dropped 18% in tourism in 2010. It was pretty ugly. You add all of that up, you know, major attraction, golf, tennis resort, economy in the tank. Want a very pretty picture. Here we are 4 years later. Let's take a look at what happened since. And unlike many of our other counties, I have to tell you this, there was a number of counties and destination marketing organizations out there that didn't have any reserves when that economy tanked in 2009-10. Zero. and I won't mention who they were, they found themselves in real tough shape because of the board, Frank, Jackie, John, some of the efforts of Gene and some others. We had adequate reserves, and we spent them. And we were aggressive in our marketing, and we said, we're not going to let this get us down. Now's the time you get out and really kick it, really get going. And we were aggressive. The staff, primarily because of the staff, the aggressive, creative marketing strategies, I want all the staff to recognize the staff, because you have two resources in business, two main ones. Capital resources, we had plenty of reserves. Human resources, we had the best. And they're all in red, all in the back, lined up along the walls. And we have 24 people on staff right now, which is about average, a little bit below compared to destinations with the same budget as we have. Actually, it's significantly lower than destinations with budgets that we have. However, here's where we stand today. Florida is the #1 tourism destination in the country, okay, by far. And the question remains, why should they come to Polk County? We've got 67 counties in the state of Florida and 50 states to choose from. That's statistically a 1 in 3,000 probability that they're going to pick this destination for their vacation. A 1 in 3,000 chance statistically, okay? So it's our job to market the county, to influence their behavior and their thoughts, and that's what the staff has done. So in a recent 2013 report by the state of Florida, Polk County was the fastest growing county in the state, or excuse me, what's called an MSA, Metropolitan Statistical Area, like Tampa, Orlando, Lakeland, Winter Haven is considered one. Okay, we grew a year ago by 11.5%. It's the best in the state. This was done by the state of Florida, the Joint Legislative Management Committee and Economic and Demographic Research Committee. The next closest competitor, Miami, 8.5%. We smoked them bad by 37%. That's how fast we're growing right now. Think about that 4-year time span between 2010 and 2014. That's what's happened here. A lot of destinations to choose from, but ultimately we're here to celebrate, and we're here to celebrate and just about wrap it up. The Detroit Tigers in the city of Lakeland, 78 years this past year. Set attendance records, not total, but single game attendance record, they set it. The year before, they set the all-time attendance record. How thankful do we have to be for that? It's the longest running relationship in Major League Baseball history, 78 years. Cleveland Indians and the Royals, gone. Russ Mat, baseball, and the Rebel Spring Games replaced it. Economic impact, a virtual wash. And literally bailed the city of Winter Haven businesses out at that time. Remember, Cypress Gardens was also in the tank. Streamsong Resort, now here, 256 rooms. That's a lot. 212 rooms. Resort just opened up. Huge asset for us with the championship courses. Legoland. When Cypress Gardens closed and Legoland, we were involved in recruiting that destination, that attraction, world-class albeit. How thankful do we have to be that 1.8 million people are visiting Legoland on an annual basis? Todd's in the back right there. It's just phenomenal success story for us. Bach Tower Gardens, down below 100,000 at one point, over 149,000 last year. Brian probably has the exact number, but I'm pretty close, correct? Cassie, you probably remember too. Okay, right now, where do we stand financially? We're on track to beat the best year in history, in Polk County's history, by 7%. It's unbelievable. You know, a lot of other fun stuff I won't get into on the stats, making some big inroads into the Latin market. Our e-marketing is second to none in the state. Social media is the vehicle of choice. In fact, 78% of travelers now make their reservations either through their iPad or through some mobile device or get their information. We were way ahead of the curve 4 or 5 years ago, added some staff to do that, but it's worked out very well. But at this time, We have a lot to be thankful for, and we get on our knees on a regular basis. And when you really get nervous in the tourism business industry, in the sports industry, arts and culture industry, whatever it may be, you really get nervous when things are good. So you see a lot of shaking knees, shaking hands, and it's not because they've had too much to drink or anything like that. It's because things are going that well, and we're smoking our competitors statistically to the west and to the east. We're affectionately known as the Valley of Humility between the two mountains of conceit on either side. You can guess which they are, okay? All right, on to the awards. All right. Our tourism rally is in large part to honor one signal organization or individual that has excelled in the past year. And it's the Dick Pope Senior Tourism Award. Mr. Pope was a phenomenal individual. Dick Pope Jr. was a great guy. Happened to ski there 22 years, mostly part-time with one of, actually, Jeannie, why don't you come up here and we'll do a couple of Adagio doubles lifts. I don't think she'll let me do that now, but we traveled the world together doing that. But Mr. Pope epitomized tourism in the state of Florida. He was Mr. Tourism. And that dated back all the way to the 20s and the 30s. Well, this year, the Dick Pope Senior Tourism Award goes to an organization that has been committed to Polk County for 78 years. And they have been a long part of our tourism appeal, primarily to visitors from Michigan. And if you go to Michigan and you ask people, do you know where Lakeland, Florida is? That's where the Tigers train. They know. You go to Madison, Wisconsin, they don't know and could care less, okay? Lakeland is on the map in large part, not all, simply because of the Tigers. And there's people in this room that have nurtured that relationship and made sure it stayed strong. And when you talk $47 million a year in impact, that's huge. That's huge. And it's all about relationships. You ask every one of my staff members, and they'll tell you the same thing. You have to develop relationships with people before you can do business with them. It's a people business. Well, the relationship between the Tigers and the city of Lakeland and Polk County, by the way, is a model partnership that 29 other Major League Baseball teams in the United States wish they had. Nobody else has it. Nobody's even close. Set all sorts of records. They have a year-round presence there, and I just don't mean because of the spring training, the Flying Tigers, but then you have the medical side of things. You have the rehab. You have the off-season training. You have all sorts of different things. And it doesn't hurt to have gentlemen like Justin Verlander and his lady friend, who we had an opportunity to meet, Kate Upton, that reside in the area. Of course, that economic contribution, I'm sure, is significant, but we're glad to have them. You know, for more than 16 years, the Tigers have partnered with Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing to host the Major League Scramble. I also have to say a lot about the Lakeland Chamber as well with Jackie and what they have done. That scramble has raised tens of thousands of dollars throughout the years of the 16 years for charities throughout Polk County. Yes, corporate America gives back. The Tigers give back each and every day. It's a great organization. I'm proud to know them. I'm proud to be associated with them. They just happened to steal one of our best employees by the name of Zach Burek after we trained him. But nonetheless, we have a great relationship with Zach and, of course, the director of the Florida operations, Mr. Ron Myers. And at this time, I'd like to present the Dick Pope Senior Tourism Award to the Detroit Tigers. And accepting on behalf of the Tigers today is Zach Burek, former Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing Business Development Director for the Tigers, Mr. Zach Burek. Zach? You have to speak into that for PGTV. Sure.
Well, thank you, Mark, and to be associated with the name of Dick Pope in this community is amazing, and to be a part of that is great. We want to thank, on behalf of the Tigers organization, Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing, our Board of County Commissioners. Mark mentioned our TDC members here with Jackie, Frank, Desiree, and John. you can't be 78 years without great partners, and we certainly have that here with our county officials, with Jackie in the chamber, our TDC, and we're proud of that. Obviously, our City of Lakeland folks, Bill Tinsley and Bob Donahue and their whole staff. So on behalf of the organization, we're thrilled. Mark mentioned all the teams that are leaving. We're here, and the great part about what we're doing here is we're a year-round operation. The Flying Tigers have been playing minor league baseball here for 60 years, and we're proud of that, and hopefully be here for 60, 70, 80 years to come. So thank you very much, and this is a great honor, and it's a thrill to be recognized.
Zach's been an asset to us on our payroll and now with the Tigers. We're truly thankful, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the business that we're in, thankful for the state we live in, and the great county we live in. But it's like I said earlier, and like I lecture the staff almost daily, that it's all about relationships, and the relationship that we have with all of you is critically important to our success. We can't do it without you. And the little signature thing that they made, this shirt they made me wear, because it was red, I had to change at the office because I got yelled at on the way up the stairs by Carol DeHaven because I didn't have my shirt on. I said, it's in my office, I'm going to change there. But together we are tourism. And that's our slogan for this year. And as we move forward, we're going to answer the question, why Polk County? And we're going to give those visitors a heck of a lot of reasons, including the 50 that are sitting or that are showing behind me. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of the food, the rest of the evening, and if you so choose, a beverage or two. Drive safely, and thanks again for being part of our team. Appreciate it.